island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hibis Public Market is on the move to make parking, dining, shopping, and events an even better experience for our community. Check out the progress that has already been made towards the revitalization. The Westside project is well on its way, but we need your help to get over the finish line. All donations are greatly appreciated and can be made online at our website or in person at the business office. We want to thank those who have already partnered with us.
It's Friday, everybody, 18th day of August, 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Fridays, you gotta love Fridays. That's the only show that we guarantee you 5 stars of quality local television programming or double your television viewing pleasure back. It is a bit breezy, 73 degrees, no air quality issues. The dry cold front that was promised came right through. On yesterday afternoon, scoured the skies right up. Now the problem, of course, the area ridgetops where some of the fires are burning to the north and northwest of us are going to see quite a bit of wind today. So we do have a red flag warning. We'll talk about that. The pressure gradients are going to tighten a little bit, but there is some good news. This wind was supposed to last all the way through Saturday into Saturday night before we calm down on Sunday. Now they're saying it's actually going to calm down quite a bit overnight tonight, and we'll just have some light wind on Saturday. So that's good news, but we still have to get through today with the red flag warning. Those all-important weekend weather forecast details are coming up, and we're done with the heat as well. After 4 consecutive days of triple-digit temperatures, including yesterday, we topped off at 100 degrees. We will have the news. Sports. Julio Rodriguez seems to have turned it around. Remember, he struggled in April and May. He ain't struggling no more. He single-handedly led the Mariners to a victory yesterday in Kansas City. Now it's off to Houston. Huge series this weekend between the Mariners and the Astros, and other cool sports as well. In our interview segment, we're going to talk to the good folks at Moses Lake Parks and Recreation. We cruised down to the basin last week, taped a bunch of interviews, and in fact, we had a chance to talk to Doug and Lynn. Doug is the head of the Moses Lake Parks and Recreation area, and Lynn works with Doug, and she does a good job as well. And we didn't get a chance to do Paws for Pets yesterday. We will make up for that by bringing you Paws the Pets today. Azalea the dog needs a home. At 2 minutes after the hour, let's begin our tour. Looks like we have the Wenatchee Heights PTZ cameras zoomed all the way out. Just a couple of clouds here and there, and that's about it. What a difference a day makes for the air quality. It was just really bad at times yesterday, but again, that's what happens when the wind comes through. Kind of scoured out the skies, so to speak, but we still have tinder dry conditions and very low relative humidity. This is the time of the day when the relative humidity is at its highest, and it's only 50%. It'll be down in the teens by the end of the day today. To Cougar Ridge we go and take a look at East Wenatchee. You can see some of the clouds hanging out over the Cascades. Outside of that, we're good to go. Good morning, Sleepy Hollow. Good morning, Monitor and Cashmere off in the distance. And of course, the folks in the Sunny Slope area continue to climb up Birch Mountain. Developments just keep getting higher and higher up there. Oh, and hello, Omi Gardens. You can wave back if you want. The Arundel Rock camera is turned in a different direction. Normally, we pointed down towards the Wenatchee Valley. You can see Turtle Rock and the dam and some of the valley, but we have it turned the other way. So that's Lake Aniat looking up the northwest direction towards Lake Chelan. It's also moving a little bit down there. When it gets windy like this, our cameras move because the towers are moving, and that's what they're supposed to do. A tower that doesn't move is actually not a good thing. It has to have a little bit of give to it when it gets windy. That's the Arundel Rock camera. And take a look at Billy Goat. You remember Billy Goat from yesterday? If you're watching this show, there's Billy Goat today. You can actually see Canada today. You couldn't yesterday. You could barely make out Alta Lake. It's still a tad hazy, but it's still a lot better than it was yesterday with the air quality. Everybody's air quality, and I checked the AQI right before we went on the air. Everybody's good. We're all in the green now, and I think we'll be okay for the time being. But that being said, red flag warning is still going on. It'll go until 9 o'clock this evening. You know the recipe by now. Windy conditions, low relative humidity, warm temperatures. That's the recipe. You get that, and you get the red flag warning. So it will be fire conditions throughout all over the Northwest, as a matter of fact, because we had all that hot weather and just baked what wasn't already baked dry, really baked dry. If there's a new ignition, it's going to take off. Fires that already exist have the potential to spread rather rapidly today, so we'll keep a close eye on that. In the meantime, here you go, your weekend weather forecast from the National Weather Service. After 100 yesterday, 85 today. We like that, but it will be breezy. Right now, the wind is out of the northwest at about 20 miles an hour. It will be a northwest wind, about 20 miles an hour all day today. In the valley, we'll see gusts at about 30 at times. Waterville, Ellensburg, and the Cascade Crests will see gusts near 40 later on today. Winds will begin to die down tonight, and that means we could see a little more haze on Saturday and Sunday because we won't see the wind, and if there's any fires that get going today that spread, that kick up some smoke, it will once again have the possibility of getting trapped. So a little bit of wind on Saturday, but really not much. Same deal on Sunday. We're okay, and then we just continue with typical mid to late August weather right through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We really need rain. We need rain. We need a nice long day of soaking rain, and there's none coming. Sorry. I wouldn't mind a rainy day this time of the year. 6 minutes after the hour, grab a cup of coffee. You got 2 minutes to do so. Come right back. We'll do the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale. Now, only at Click It RV. 5 Superstore locations. Hurry in today.
I chose a career at Kuntz South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Kuntz South. Come grow with us.
Ibis Public Market is on the move to make parking, dining, shopping, and events an even better experience for our community. Check out the progress that has already been made towards the revitalization. The West Side project is well on its way, but we need your help to get over the finish line. All donations are greatly appreciated and can be made online at our website or in person at the business office. We want to thank those who have already partnered with us. You are helping make the place we love a better place for our community to meet.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
A rather comfortable 73 degrees, although it is windy, and it will be windy all day today. Pretty consistent wind out of the northwest at about 20 miles an hour. Gusts above 30 in the valley. Stronger winds in other locations. Winds die down tonight. Just a little bit of a breeze on Saturday and Sunday, and we can breathe the air again. It's 8 minutes after the hour. A 17-year-old from Yakima County has been arrested and charged with murder in the shooting death of Tony Figueroa. The 15-year-old East Wenatchee boy died in a shooting about 11:30 in the evening on August 12th. He was attending a quinceañera party on South Mission Street. The arrested suspect is Ario Israel Incisco. He's from Toppenish. Wenatchee police say Incisco was arrested Wednesday in Yakima County after detectives tracked him down using videos and photos gathered by witnesses, including a photo of the vehicle Incisco was traveling in. Incisco and Tony Figueroa allegedly had ties to rival gangs and were involved in an altercation at the party just prior to that shooting. A warrant was issued for Incisco's arrest on Monday. Chelan County prosecutors charging him as an adult on Wednesday with second-degree murder and unlawful possession of a firearm. Most firearm-related violent crimes involving juvenile suspects are automatically elevated to adult felony court under Washington state law. An auto wreck early yesterday morning on Highway 97 in Orondo left the sole person in that vehicle dead. The Washington State Patrol says the wreck was reported shortly after 3:30 in the morning yesterday. The driver was southbound on 97 near milepost 213 when the vehicle veered off the road, struck a tree, burst into flames. The roadway was blocked for 3.5 hours for emergency response that included fire suppression. The motorist was declared dead at the scene. The person has not yet been publicly identified. The next of kin has not been identified yet, and the vehicle we don't know yet either. You just saw briefly rather dramatic footage that we captured yesterday. Wenatchee police investigating the cause of that crash that resulted in a rollover yesterday morning. Captain Brian Chance says when a white GMC Envoy traveling south on Chelan entered the intersection of First Street, it struck a Toyota pickup heading east. The pickup ended up on its side. The driver, however, was not injured. The accident happened just before 9 a.m. yesterday morning. Chance said the driver of the Envoy transported for medical attention. He said it's unclear which vehicle had the green light at the time of the accident. It remains under investigation. Neither driver has been charged as of yet. The Chelan Douglas Health District says a bat found in Douglas County has tested positive for rabies. That's the second bat this week to be confirmed with rabies in our area. The health district said they were notified by a Douglas County resident of a pet-only exposure to a bat by their 2 dogs. The bat was submitted to the Washington Animal Disease Diagnostic Laboratory, and it came back as positive by the Washington State Department of Health. CDHD says this is the first rabid bat reported in Douglas County this year. It comes after the health district announced earlier in the week that a rabid bat was found in Chelan County on August 8th. U.S. Representative Kim Schreier is more than a little concerned about the skyrocketing use of fentanyl in our area, plus the overdoses that are associated with it. And she'll be hosting a roundtable to discuss the effects of fentanyl's presence in the valley. The event will take place at Wenatchee City Hall today at noon. Members of the roundtable, alongside the Congresswoman, will include Chelan County Commissioner Kevin Overbay, Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett, Wenatchee School District Superintendent Corey Callahar, and other local officials, elected and not. That's the news at 12 minutes after the hour. Normally, August is pretty much the dead time for news, and then things really get kicking in September, but that has not been the case this week or this month, for that matter. So whatever happened in the Wenatchee Valley, North Central Washington, we'll keep you informed with the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight, 5, 6, and 10 on television. Doesn't fit in your schedule. You can watch the news whenever you want via the World Wide Web. We'll have it up and running right around 5 o'clock. It'll be on our Facebook page, on our homepage, and on our YouTube page. At the bottom of your screen right there is how you get a hold of us. I would recommend you email us news@ncwlife.com because a whole bunch of people get that one, including me. When we come back, Mariners win. Seahawks didn't play, and they'll play a game that doesn't count tomorrow. We'll preview racing at the WVSO and a local baseball team playing pretty good baseball in the Midwest. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
invite you to watch Network TV. I interview different guests in technology, entrepreneurship, business, education, and nonprofit. It's a bit of a variety show, and you never know who you're going to meet or learn about on Network TV. Tune in weekly to the NCW Life channel.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
It is quarter after the hour. Julio Rodriguez, the one-man wrecking crew. He did it all yesterday. Mariners come from behind again. Beat Kansas City. The final was 6-4. Julio had his first 5-hit, 5 RBI day in his career. He had a 3-run home run at the top of the 8th inning. That erased a 4-2 deficit. Gave Seattle the lead. Cal Raleigh would add some insurance in the 9th. The Mariners take 3 of 4 from Kansas City.
A shot to left field, and it sails over Melendez. One run is home, another runner being waved home. Canzone, relay to the plate is in time.
Got to get back there quicker than that. And Junior, I mean, a perfect throw.
Line drive off the bat of Witt. Hit it hard. Marlowe chases it down. Garcia, he's getting a wave on from Vance Wilson. There's the throw. They got a shot at it. Got him. Cabby with a great throw to nail Garcia at the plate.
Massey ties the game with a 1-2 pitch. He goes the other way. Bobby Witt Jr.'s double turns into a run, and we're tied at 2. That's a base hit to left field. Royals take the lead. Velasquez goes to third. MJ is in there at second base with an RBI double. Line center field. Rodriguez is there. He's got it. Here comes Velasquez. The throw goes to third, and the runner has crossed home plate. Off the end of the bat, here comes Melendez and makes a running, sliding attempt. Moore ran away. He's out. Moore thought he was out. And he ran back toward home plate. And Melendez didn't give up on the play. The entire infield was screaming for him to throw to first base.
Julio has tied a career best with 4 hits today. He's got a chance for his first ever 5-hit game. He swings away. Julio with an absolute nuke out to left field. He has given the Mariners an 8th inning lead. Julio Rodriguez becomes only the second player in baseball history with 20 homers and 20 stolen bases in each of his first 2 major league seasons.
Now Raleigh, 2-1. There's a drive deep down the line. Right field. Hey now! Cal Raleigh with a home run. Little insurance for the Mariners. 6-4 Seattle. Big Cal checking in. Ready for me. Ground ball. This should do it. Cabby. Step, throw, daddy, ball game.
During the post-game show, Jen Mueller of Root Sports Northwest had to make sure she didn't get soaked with Gatorade, but she did get a chance to talk to Julio.
Feels good on a day like today, does it not? I mean, definitely feels great. Definitely feels great, especially after we get a happy flight and we took the series today.
Okay, Teo actually let you off the hook a little bit. I still need one word to describe your day.
One word, I mean, I just feel grateful, grateful to be able to help the team and help the team win and just kind of keep helping us gain momentum and keep on rolling.
So today, we saw you drive in runs in different ways, but this entire series with runners in scoring position, you have been clutch. What have you changed, if anything, about your approach?
Not a lot. Just basically more staying committed to my approach and just be a storm around it. And just go and look and go and swing what I'm looking for, and yeah, sticking to my approach basically.
Okay, but when you get a chance to take a big swing, it is special. How sweet did it feel to put a swing on that ball in the air?
It definitely felt great, especially given the situation that we're in. We were down and be able to flip the game over. It was definitely fun to do it out there in that moment.
You were the first person in franchise history to hit 20 home runs in each of the first 2 big league seasons. What does that piece of history mean to you?
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. This is definitely a successful franchise. Definitely a lot of great players came through here, and be able to be on that list, I feel really blessed for that.
Manager Scott Service says it's nice to have a guy like Julio step up to the plate when the Mariners need him.
Today was about Julio. I mean, what a game. Home runs, doubles, hitting the ball, making the plays in the outfield. We've often said, he's such a special talent. When he gets rolling, he can really carry a team. And I think we're all real heavy on his back right now. Awesome game. I thought George, first early in the game, did a really nice job mixing in all the off-speed stuff. He kind of got away from that a little bit. These guys hit the fastball. I don't care how good your fastball is or where it's located. They are on it. And then obviously putting an inning together against him. Our bullpen did a really nice job today. Guys are out there in spots that they haven't been in much, but they threw strikes, they changed speeds, and happy for Matt Brash to get him back out there again. So we've used Matt a lot lately. You probably won't see him for the next couple days, and that's what we're going to have to do here. Kind of cycle through different guys. We will not have a set closer. It's just, what pocket we're in, who's the freshest. That guy will get that opportunity, and we'll roll with it there. But happy to win the series.
Nice start to the road trip, taking 3 of 4 from the Royals. Next up, here we go, Houston. They'll be in Houston taking on the Astros. First of 3 games tonight, 5:10 on Root Sports Northwest. The Mariners were the only team in our division that played yesterday, but they beat Kansas City, so the Mariners edging a little closer to Houston for second in the division. They're 6 back of the Rangers. Seattle gaining a half game on idle Toronto in the American League wildcard chase. Boston dropped 3.5 back with a 10-7 loss to the Nationals. The Yankees still 6.5 back of Toronto heading into the weekend. There are your standings, and again, you want to be above that white line. Seahawks continue preparations for their second game that doesn't count on Saturday. They'll host Dallas at Lumen Field at 7 o'clock on King 5. Now, during the regular season, when they play on Sundays, Coach Pete Carroll likes to have his media day on Friday. They get to the hotel on Saturday, then they play on Sunday. And he says they've moved up their timetable for tomorrow's game so they can get ready for the regular season.
And so this was a normal Friday for us, and all of the timing and the rhythms of it is exactly like we're going to do during the season. So we take a lot of pride in doing that well, because we're trying to do a great job of understanding the rhythms of the preparation. So today we got knocked out for Fridays, and tomorrow will be a normal Saturday, going to the hotel and all that. So it's good for us. I would like to see us play really hard again. And I was really fired up about the efforts, and the lack of loafs that we look for to count and add up and all that. The effort from the first guys that played to the last guys that played was really consistent, and as we tackled a lot better as the game went on, I hope that we can start tackling well in the game.
After Saturday's game, they got one more game that doesn't count. They'll be in Green Bay to take on the Packers the following weekend, and then it's cut time. They have to get down to the 53-man roster, and then the NFL season will begin the weekend after Labor Day. 7 Wenatchee Apple Sox named to the West Coast League All-League team yesterday. We like that. Second baseman Frankie Carney, no surprise there. He's a first-teamer, the UC Irvine redshirt freshman, second in the league in hitting. He batted .356 this year. Pitchers Toby Haar and Jordan Williamson selected second-team All-WCL. Honorable mentions went to pitchers Evan Canfield, Michael Connealy, and Ryan Martinez, as well as utility man Brandon Ponce. A North Central Washington family continuing a generational tradition at the Babe Ruth World Series. Terry Pinsky played in the Babe Ruth World Series in 1957. He was part of a team from North Central Washington that qualified for the tournament. Now, 66 years later, Pinsky is back at the World Series watching his grandsons play, Brooks and Cooper. The Pinskys are part of the Farmers. It's a group of 16 to 18-year-old players made up mostly players out of Brewster High School. They're in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, playing in the 2023 Babe Ruth World Series. They finished pool play, by the way, yesterday. They lost to Alabama. The final was 5-3. They begin bracket play today. They'll take on Virginia. If they win, they'll face the number 1 seed, California, tonight. A champion will be crowned by tomorrow night. And finally, Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Now, this will be an interesting night. Tomorrow is the annual Bump to Pass and Boat Race Destruction Night at the WVSO. So the last race of the night is Bump to Pass, but the cars will be towing boats while they do it. This is why they do it last instead of first. Prior to that, racing will feature the Rockstar Energy B-Mods, the Plum Perfect Roadrunners, the AMCA Dwarf Bandit cars, the Zero Handicap Youth Roadrunners, and the Johnson Electric Bump to Pass cars. Gates open at 4:30, racing at 6. WVSO.COMOUS. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 25 minutes after the hour. For the obscure holiday I could have chosen but didn't, National Ice Cream Pie Day. I've heard of ice cream cake. I don't think I've ever had an ice cream pie. I've had ice cream on pie, a la mode. National Mail Order Catalog Day. Used to have those all the time. I haven't gotten one of those in about 10 years. You point and click now. But today we celebrate the fajita. Get some steak, cook it up big and hot, add a little sour cream, guacamole. I like mine with some black beans, some cheese, and you're good to go. Fajitas. The concept of fajitas began about 100 years ago. That's how far back they go. When Mexican ranch workers working at ranches in Texas were given the leftover pieces of meat that nobody wanted. They couldn't sell. It was also part of their payment. They said, here's the parts of the cow that nobody wants, so here you go. It was always the toughest cut. So they said, well, you know, we'll do what we can with the toughest cut of beef. They said, you know, skirt steak is flavorful. It's tough, but it's flavorful. But what if we cook it up a whole bunch and throw a bunch of spices in there and call it good? And of course, it was cheap. It was easy to make. You could carry it with you and eat it for lunch. And it was efficient, easy to make, and it became a staple in South Texas. And then it just kind of went up through Texas and over to Arizona and over to California. And eventually now they are everywhere. Fajitas really took off, by the way, in the late 60s and early 70s when Mexican restaurants started featuring them on their menu. I love a good fajita. And I love the way they serve it in the restaurants. They bring the cast iron skillet right out. It's just still sizzling. Enjoy a fajita today. I love fajitas. They don't necessarily love me. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, we're number 27. We're number 27. We were a little behind on women's suffrage, but it finally came true on a nationwide basis. Women already had the right to vote in a lot of states. All of the western states allowed women to vote. Most of the eastern states, and certainly none of the southern states, had suffrage yet, but it became the law of the land when the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified. So women's suffrage, women could vote. Finally, in this country, anywhere. We were the 27th country to give women the right to vote. Among the countries that beat us to it, Sweden, England, Australia, Russia, Croatia, Hungary, Denmark, Canada. We got there. Eventually, even though Tennessee was the state that put it over the top, but it didn't look good if other states didn't ratify it. This was in 1920. Eventually, all 48 states that were in the Union in 1920 ratified it, including Mississippi, who bothered to get around to ratifying it in 1984. Women can vote 103 years ago today. 61 years ago today, Ringo made his very first appearance with his new bandmates, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison at the Horticultural Society dance in Berkshead, England. They rehearsed 2 hours before. They showed up at the dance. They found a place where they could rehearse. Ringo knew all of the staples that the Beatles have been playing for years. He had played with the Beatles, of course, in Hamburg, Germany, would occasionally fill in. They knew he was a good drummer, but Ringo didn't know any of the original music that the Beatles have been writing over the last few years. So they rehearsed for 2 hours, and then they went out and played. And this is the first time that John, Paul, George, and Ringo, as the Beatles, would play together as a foursome on the stage 61 years ago today in 1962. And finally, this is the 40th anniversary of the conclusion of the game that started on July 24th, the infamous Pine Tar game. We'll roll the footage as I go down memory lane. We're going to take you back to Sunday, July 24th. You remember what happened. George Brett crushes a home run in the top of the 9th inning with 2 outs. UL Washington scores, George Brett scores, and a 4-3 Yankee lead becomes a 5-4 Kansas City lead with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. But you know what happened? Billy Martin said, wait a minute. They've been waiting for this to happen. They had noticed weeks before that he had a lot of pine tar on his bat, and he couldn't have any pine tar more than 18 inches above the knob. And so Billy said, check the bat. You remember all this. We talked about this back on July 24th. Billy being Billy, hey, you know, there's too much pine tar on it. So they, you know, of course, George Brett's going, what the heck is going on here? So they went and talked a little bit more. What happened, of course, is that, and you're going to see it right here, Tim McClellan, the home plate umpire, measures the bat on the plate. The home plate is, in case you didn't know, 17.5 inches wide. So they had a definitive measuring stick on exactly how much pine tar is on the bat. When all of this is going on, a lot of people say, what is going on? What are they doing here? Of course, they measure it. Yep, there's pine tar past 18 inches. There's pine tar all the way up the barrel of the bat. They confirm. Tim McClellan says, George Brett, you're out. The game is over. The run didn't count. Yankees win 4-3. And, of course, George Brett had a heart attack. Well, eventually, Lee McPhail, the president of the American League, ruled that, yes, he violated the spirit of the law, but not the home run counts. And so they had to conclude the game, and so they did. And it was a bit of a fiasco. This was the conclusion on this day. Dave Winfield is out there playing. Look who's playing center field, Ron Guidry, who's a pitcher. The original center fielder in the original game was Jerry Mumphrey. He'd been traded to Houston. Anyway, before the game starts, Billy Martin goes out to protest. He says, I don't think George Brett touched all the bases. Now can you prove that he didn't? Well, the umpire pulls out a notarized affidavit signed by all 4 umpires from the game back on July 24th, testifying that, in fact, George Brett had touched every base. They had an idea that this may, in fact, happen. By the way, Don Mattingly, who's left-handed, played second base. He's not supposed to do that. Anyway, it took 12 minutes, total attendance 1,245. The Pine Tar game finally came to an end. George Brett continued to use that bat until it broke a couple of weeks later. Then he sent it to the Hall of Fame. Final postscript in all this, they had to play, this was a Monday, the Yankees were supposed to have the day off. There were lawsuits, it was crazy. So Kansas City flew from Kansas City to Newark, New Jersey. They got on the team bus. They drove to Yankee Stadium. They played a game for 12 minutes, drove back to Newark, and then flew to Baltimore for the game they were supposed to play that night. There were 4 people ejected in the Pine Tar incident. Of course, George Brett was thrown out. Dick Hauser, the manager, was thrown out. Gaylord Perry was thrown out. And Coach Rocky Cavallino was all ejected from the game, so they couldn't participate when the game was concluded on this date 40 years ago today. So they watched the game on TV at a bar in Hoboken, New Jersey. Finally came to an end, 32 minutes after the hour. We begin with a heavenly birthday, Meriwether Lewis. I'm currently consuming the PBS documentary from 1997 about the Corps of Discovery. It's pretty fascinating. Meriwether Lewis, one half of Lewis and Clark, born in the state in 1774, died from gunshot wounds under mysterious circumstances. They don't really know whether he committed suicide or he was murdered. He did suffer from severe depression. He was a manic depressive. So most historians think that he killed himself in 1809 at the age of 35, but the legend lives on. Happy 96th birthday to Rosalind Carter. She is the oldest living First Lady. She's 96. She's the second oldest First Lady ever. Bess Truman lived to the age of 97. And of course, she and Jimmy have been married, 77 years, something like that. Rosalind Carter, 96 years old today. Heavenly birthday, Roberto Clemente. Would have been 89 years old today, died in a plane crash New Year's Eve 1972 at the age of 38. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1973. He was the first Latino, the first Latin American ever enshrined into Baseball Hall of Fame. Roberto Clemente Day will be coming up next month. And Robert Redford is 87 years old today. Robert Redford has one Academy Award. One. And it was for directing Ordinary People in 1980, which was the first movie he ever directed. He's 87 years old today. All right, 33 minutes after the hour, got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. Hold on to that. Also, we had a chance last week to go down out to Moses Lake, and we visited with the pros. They're really cool people who run Moses Lake Parks and Recreation. We met at the aquatic park that they have there. Man, was I impressed with that. We're going to visit with Doug and Lynn from Moses Lake Parks and Rec. But first things first is pause for pets from our friends at the Humane Society.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and I'm an animal care coordinator here. So I get to play with Azalea most days and her ball. Azalea came to us as a stray a little while back. She actually was brought in by somebody, which is so kind. We really appreciate that. She is doing awesome. She's about 7 years old. Husky mix with still a lot of energy, as you can see. She loves toys. She won't leave her kennel without one. She won't do an interview without one. Like this ball. Sit. She'll do anything for it. Good girl. She loves people and loves playing. We don't know if she's good with cats, but we never really do when they're a stray. I think because she is a little older, she's a little bit set in her ways, so she's very particular with other dogs. She would prefer to be your only dog, your only best friend. But we do encourage you to bring your own dog, if you have one, down to meet her too, if you're interested. We are open Thursday through Tuesday from 11 till 6, and we would love for you to come by and meet Azalea.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Have you been to Boswell's Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswell's has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswell's has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Come on out to Chelan County Fair. I'm doing my best and I know I'm all over the road. All your friends and neighbors will be there. There'll be cows, there'll be chickens, guitar picking, there'll be plenty of food to be shared. Come on out to Chelan County Fair. Come on out, yo, come on out to Chelan County Fair.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, in grade school, I was taught that George Washington never told a lie. Really, never? I mean, come on. And then I was taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Well, no, we didn't, okay? Eric the Red probably got here 500 years earlier, and it wasn't even North America where Christopher Columbus landed, okay? And here's another good one. Native Americans and Pilgrims ate turkey on the first Thanksgiving. I don't think so. Who makes up this stuff, and why did they cram it down my throat when I was too young to challenge them? And you want to know what else? Another huge lie that I was told? I have searched numerous people-seeking sites. I have used many search engines, and I've looked all over the internet, and I can't even find one person named John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, let alone two. Now, I say it's time to promote honesty in education. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Bob File Boats and Motors is your local Yamaha headquarters. For more than 30 years, Yamaha outboards have delivered far more than superior power, performance, and efficiency. Yamaha owners get something that can't be measured in horsepower or RPM. Legendary Yamaha reliability. Find the Yamaha outboard that fits your life at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again. Please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor. Naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
They say, and by they I mean experts who are smarter than me, one of the indicators of a thriving, vibrant community is three things: libraries, schools, and parks. And out here in Moses Lake, they check all three of those boxes, especially the Parks Department, because it's all about having a good place to just hang around, open spaces, open to the public. Moses Lake has done it as well as any municipality you will find anywhere. Doug, welcome to the program, and introduce your friend to your left there.
Yeah, this is my Lynn Lynch. She is our communications and marketing specialist for the city.
And Doug here is the Dave Erickson of Moses Lake. We all know Dave, of course, in Wenatchee, fresh from Whidbey Island.
Yes.
Pretty happy with the move?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you get the gig? How did you make the move from Whidbey Island to Moses Lake?
You know, it was a transition. My wife and I loved it over here on the east side. We love the heat. We love the sunshine. You know, having more than 300 days of clear blue skies is always a positive. So we looked for positions over here. I found this and applied, and thankfully they hired me.
There are parks all over Moses Lake. Each neighborhood has a park, so almost anywhere you go Moses Lake, you're not too far from a park. But when I think about the Moses Lake Parks Rec and Cultural Services Department, I immediately thought of this place, this spectacular water park, which has been here longer than either one of these two people have. But this place
is a magnet for people, isn't it? I'll let you both address that. This is a godsend to Moses Lake and the folks here.
This place has, I mean, we'll have rentals of over 1,000 people in the evenings. We'll have days when we go full on packed gills here all day on a hot day. We'll have lineups out the front for an hour before we open. When we got here today, we haven't even opened yet, and there was already people standing out in front at 10:30 for an 11 o'clock opening. So it is extremely popular in the community. The community loves it, and our staff takes a huge amount of pride in how we present it and how we maintain it.
Yeah, this is a huge facility. What you see behind me is basically a zero depth pool that it just gradually gets deeper and deeper. Great for toddlers. Get the kids out just to cool them down. But there's a lot of stuff here, Lynn, not just from what's behind us, but talk about everything that's here at this park. Not just what we can see behind us, but the whole layout.
Oh yeah. We have the flow rider in the back. Then we also have the kiddie pool area, and there's a picnic area, and there's also a playground behind that's ADA accessible. And yeah, people from miles around, they like to come in and bring the coolers. They can bring food in and just spend a day here. And it's also a main tourist attraction for us. That's what we market for Moses Lake area tourism.
This is only an hour from Wenatchee, folks.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So you have meets. In fact, you had a meet here just a couple weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, it's a I don't know that it's Olympic size. I think it's 25 meters. So it's about half an Olympic sized pool. So instead of doing a two length 100 meter, you're doing a 4 length 100 meter, which is a little different. But we do hold a meet here. We do have a swim team here, the Manta Rays, and they're here all through the summer.
And they're also good too.
They're very good.
Yep.
So
if you're into just swimming for exercise, there's a pool waiting for you and a deep end to do some diving. I bring this up because the Wenatchee City Pool is closed. They had to close it early to get some maintenance done. They're trying to keep that pool alive. So if you're a serious swimmer in the Wenatchee Valley, hop in the car, drive an hour, fork over $20, and you're good to go.
You're here.
Yeah, that reminds me, and I don't know who's this, Lynn or Doug, I'll ask you both. I was on the website. There's a typo here. It says daily pass for Moses Lake residents, 5 to 17 years old, to get in the door, $17. That can't be right. It's got to be more than that. Is that a mistake?
If that's on the website, it better be correct.
$17 for teenagers to get in.
Yes.
You can charge twice that and nobody's going to be turned away. That's a good deal.
Yeah. I believe it's a good deal. I mean, and just in what I've seen around in other locations around the country, it's a great water park. It's a great facility for people to come here and be at and enjoy. And we want to price it accordingly so that our community can use it well, and any visitors can come and use it.
And the best deal, seasons pass for adults 18 to 64, $79. You get a card with your picture on it, and you can come and go as you please. And it comes with some other advantages too if you buy a seasons pass, right?
I believe
Can't you like cut the line or stuff like that? There is. I don't want to say that.
It's not cut the line. We do have a special season pass entrance, so you don't have to wait in the pay line, so you don't have to pay a fee to come in. You've already paid that. So we do have a special entrance for our pass holders to come in separately. They can just scan their card at the entrance and walk on in.
That's a beautiful thing. And concessions. You can eat here.
You can eat here. We do have concession stand as well, but as Lynn said, you're also welcome to bring in your own cooler of food, just no glass and no alcohol.
And lifeguards everywhere, so it's a very safe environment.
Absolutely. Lifeguards, we have a great staff of lifeguards. We hire over 100 lifeguards every year to staff this facility. This year is no exception. It's a great staff and great crew running this place.
If you cruise down Broadway and you look on your right, you're going to look at the Larson Recreation Center and you go, what happened there? That's cool. It was always one of the crown jewels of your system, but now you got a whole new setup at Larson. Who wants to talk about that?
Right. So this past year, Larson Recreation Center, the facility was built. We did have Larson playfields there with multiple baseball, softball opportunities, as well as an outdoor ice arena there and a BMX track. But we've added the Recreation Center last year, opened this January. We're in our summer mode right now, but we'll be gearing up for fall season, and you can get a membership. We have a small fitness area, a walking track, a double gymnasium, some party rooms that are available for rental, all sorts of great stuff there.
Where did the need come from for that? Because it was the old Larson's, because it wasn't really a building, so to speak. You had to tear down some.
Yeah, it wasn't operational.
It was not an operational
Yeah.
facility.
Yeah.
No, and we didn't have the programming space to do programs that we now do. This winter we did adult volleyball, we did adult 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. We've done pickleball tournaments. We're just trying to do a wide range of activities for all ages, and we'll continue to do that through the year.
None of this stuff was shoved down the taxpayers' throats. Like any good Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department, you guys take input from the community.
Absolutely.
What would you like to see? And that's really how this developed and how Larson Rec Center developed too. It was all input, right?
We do have a Parks, Recreation, and Open Space plan that was just redone last year in 2022 that involved a ton of community input as to what would you like to see in the area. Surveys, input all around from community members, from stakeholder groups all the way through, and that kind of drives what our next steps are as a city and as a department.
And when you have an aquatic, spectacular playground like this and great facilities at Larson, it brings people into the community from out of town, and that's an economic driver, isn't it? When you have these kinds of things.
Yeah, Lynn better would.
Lynn, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're just visiting Moses Lake for the first time, I'd recommend you go to the Visitor Information Center, and that's part of our Museum and Art Center that the city owns and operates. It's at 401 South Balsam, and you can pick up brochures, get your questions answered, and see a museum show if you like. And yeah, just a great hub of information. We've also got tourmoseslake.com. That's a website of our local events.
How important is having Moses Lake just off of I-90 help bring people here? I know folks from Ephrata who come down here all the time.
I think it's a huge thing for the community. I would look at it as they probably made I-90 come through Moses Lake because Moses Lake is so cool, but that's just me. I think we've just got so much here that people can come and see. Lynn mentioned the Museum and Art Center. I think it's an amazing place as well. You can go there and visit Rusty Mammoth, which when I first came over here and looked at that thing, it was amazing. It's a mammoth sculpture made out of scrap metal. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Our museum and art shows are amazing for the size of community we have, and even for a community of a larger size. I'm just always amazed by those.
Well, Moses Lake continues to grow. Talk about I mentioned this at the start of this conversation. Talk about the importance of having large, unbuilt upon, undeveloped spaces for the public's general use. It's important, isn't it? Or you wouldn't be doing this.
Well, it's hugely important, especially when you add in the aspect of a lot of new construction might be multifamily housing where you don't have a yard for kids to play in. We become the backyard, for most of the community here in apartment complexes and other areas. So as we're looking at development and increased usage from the community and increased size of the community, we're also considering that in our plan and looking forward and going through the process of when do we require a park, how do we do that, how do we make that happen for those new community areas.
And as you see the Moses Lake community grow and spread out, and Moses Lake is spread out, you probably take a look at a big map and say, well, I think eventually we're going to need a park there. You can be proactive, but you can purchase the land ahead of time and sit on it until it's time to put a park in.
We do work with the developers as well, and when they're putting in a large development, we can look at requiring them to provide a park based on the size of the development, and we do that to kind of keep our neighborhood parks in line. As the neighborhood develops, so does the park. So it kind of goes hand in hand, and we're looking at that process on an ongoing basis on how we can improve it.
When you came here from Woodby on it half a year ago, did you look at this and say, with a blank slate, as the new guy coming in with new fresh of eyes and say, this is impressive, this is a great department? You inherited a pretty good job here.
I am constantly amazed by what we do in the staff and the job that they've done here. It is an incredible community, and it's an incredible set of parks and facilities that we maintain. Our programs are, I would say, second to none. We've done a great job here.
Lynn's job is to make sure people know all about Moses Lake, and so far you're doing a heck of a job that I can tell. Is Moses Lake an overlooked jewel? Do people see Moses Lake Parks and Rec come here and swim and play ball and play pickleball?
I think it's a best kept secret, honestly. I would look at it that way. Yeah, because people know about it, but maybe they don't talk too much about it, so they can keep it to themselves.
Yeah, the folks in Moses Lake saying, don't come here. We want this all to ourselves. Nonsense. Come to Moses Lake. It's a beautiful area. It really is. Anything else you want to touch on while I have you here? Any upcoming, as we transition from summer to autumn? I know you guys have seasonal programs. What's coming up, Doug, that you want to touch on?
You know, we're in our summer mode right now. August 11th, we've got a concert, not here at the pool, but in the park behind the pool, McCosh Park. We've got a concert in the park featuring 2 local bands, Lake City Blues and Dime Store Prophets, and that's this Friday the 11th. We've got one more concert. We've got Imani Festival coming up later on, and that'll be another concert in the park. We're transitioning from summer into fall, where we're going to get into our fall sports schedule. Soccer, I believe, will be starting up, and then we'll be working forward into winter and having the ice arena reopen, the outdoor ice arena. We've got all sorts of arts and sports programs coming up through the fall and into the winter. So.
And again, I can't stress this enough. What you're seeing here does not do this place justice. This is a huge footprint. And again, folks, the Wenatchee City Pool is closed. This place is open through Labor Day weekend. I'll ask you one more question, Doug. I'll cut you loose. You probably know by now the City of Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, the Chelan Douglas Regional Port Authority, local government entities, they see that the Wenatchee Pool is aging out. It's near the end of its lifespan. They're considering something like this in the Wenatchee Valley. What would be your advice to the decision makers who are kicking the tires on something along these lines?
Don't do it. Send your folks here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That was good.
What kind of advice would I give? I'd say you got to listen to your community. What does your community want? And then temper that with your experienced staff and how they would implement that. Looking at the program of this facility, we have swim lessons here. We have a lot of public swim here, and we have rentals. Know what you're getting into when you get started.
And again, I should probably mention this. If you live out of town, it's $18 if you live in Moses Lake. If you're from out of town, it's what, $20 for a day pass for an adult?
I believe so. That sounds about right.
$20, Wenatcheeites, and you get this. You get this. If you're anybody out there who's doubting that the Wenatchee Valley shouldn't have something like this, come here. Fork over the $20. You'll change your mind. Lynn and Doug, thanks for spending some time out of your busy day for this visit.
Appreciate it, Dan.
We appreciate it. Visit Moses Lake. It's Washington's best kept secret. Until now, I got a lot of people to watch my show.
There you go. Good.
There you go. We'll be right back.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Enjoy the sounds of summer from your very own pool and spa. Blue Lagoon is now scheduling pool installations for this summer. Call today to schedule a free consultation for a custom San Juan fiberglass pool. And let the experts at Blue Lagoon handle the construction, installation, and regular maintenance. Turn your boring backyard into vacation paradise this summer with industry-leading San Juan pool. No need to go off the deep end. Relax knowing you're in great hands with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa.
D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
It is 75 degrees here In the big city, it is a little windy, wind out of the west-northwest at about 22 miles an hour, and that's about where it's going to be all day today. The pressure gradients are pretty darn tight. It's a very dry air, and, well, we have what we don't want to have, which is a red flag warning, because we got very low relative humidity. This morning, when this show started an hour ago, relative humidity was at 41. I'm sorry, relative humidity was at 50%, and now it's at 29%. That's a huge drop, and we're going to see relative humidity down to the teens by this afternoon. So that's the three things that have to happen. Bone dry air, relative humidity very dry, hot and dry winds, and warm temperatures, and there you go. A red flag warning in effect. It doesn't officially begin until 10 o'clock this morning. I'm going to say it begins now, even though I don't work for the National Weather Service. It goes until 9 o'clock tonight, and that's for all of eastern Washington, all of it, the entire entity of eastern Washington. That's a big swath of real estate. Folks who are going to be sweating out any kind of existing fires will have the potential to really take off, as will new fires if they get going, and we hope, for God's sakes, that doesn't happen. But we're done with the oppressively hot weather. After 100 degrees yesterday, tying a record on Wednesday, setting a record on Tuesday, and almost setting a record on Monday, we're done with the heat for, well, the oppressive heat anyway, for quite some time. Take a look at what the forecast is. Talk about your dramatic change. After 100 yesterday, only 85 for the forecast high today. But again, it's going to be windy all day today into the evening hours, and it's going to be quite comfortable. Good time to give your air conditioner a break. 59 for the overnight low. And the winds will be dying down on Saturday, but the trade-off is less wind means that whatever smoke is going to be billowing up from the area wildfires, and there's not a lot, and they're not too close to the Wenatchee, but whatever smoke gets up there does have the potential to come right back down again, so we could see some haze at times over the weekend, but certainly much more comfortable temperatures. About 90 on Sunday, and it's going to be just August weather, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.
Hello, North Central Washington, and welcome to another episode of Networked. I'm your host, Jenny Rojanasatian, Executive Director of NCW Tech Alliance, where we use this TV show to spotlight innovative minds in our region. Today, I'm really privileged to meet with a local entrepreneur, Edwin Eaton, owner and founder of iPro Building Services, who's been reshaping the janitorial industry with his unique blend of leadership and vision. Edwin began his journey in 2002 during his college years when he found himself involved with a friend's clean